But before I get too far into all of that stuff, I just kind of wanted to put this out there. It's a whole lot of stuff. It's a whole lot of things that'll start making sense when you start to do what? Like you start to go and study. Now, like going and studying stuff like this, if you're not careful, if you don't know what the Bible say first, you won't know when to stop. And there's a lot of people out there who claim to know all these hidden books of the Bible and stuff like that. And it's like man. Like, no. No, 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 no. Like there's only so far you go before you like, okay, like when is far too far? You know, it's a lot of people that do stuff like that. The reason why the book of Jubilees and the book of Enoch is something that I read is because this was found with the Dead Sea Scrolls in the caves of Qumran, along with the book of Isaiah and all of them other books. If you don't know anything about the Dead Sea Scrolls, I really suggest you go and do your research on them. But the Dead Sea Scrolls was like a lot of original ancient manuscripts of the prophets was found there, along with the book of Enoch and along with the book of Jubilees. The book of Jasher, I don't believe that was found with the Dead Sea Scrolls. Let me flip through here and see. Jasher, no, no, I don't think, no, I don't believe Jasher was, but that's kind of why I don't really like reading it, because the book of Jasher said a lot of contradictory stuff. But if you don't first know the original 66 books of the Bible, then you won't know when to stop looking into stuff. Because, like, without knowledge of the word, then you can accept anything. You know what I'm saying? And I remember I was into the book of Jasher, and then after I read the book of Jasher is when I read the entire Old Testament again, and I'm like, wait a minute, something ain't right about that. But every time I read Enoch and Jubilees and I read the Old Testament, it's like don't nothing really, like it don't really, like what's the word, like contradict each other or whatever. Only thing that I found contradicting so far, and it's not even really contradicting, is the way Cain died. So the way Cain died, um, I'm gonna talk about that. So the chapter 31 on verse 4 of the book of Jubilees said, at the close of this jubilee, Cain was killed after him. Wait, so Cain was killed after who? After Adam died, I believe. Okay, so at the close of this jubilee, Cain was killed after him in the same year, for his house fell upon him, and he died in the midst of his house, and he was killed by its stones. For with a stone he had killed Abel, and by a stone he was killed in righteous judgment. For this reason it was ordained on the heavenly tablets with the instrument with which a man kills his neighbor, with the same shall he be killed after the manner that he wounded him. In like manner shall they deal with him. So I read that and I'm like, wait a minute. But in the book of Jasher, I remember it saying that Lamech shot him with an arrow because he thought he was an animal. And then the book of Genesis said that Lamech killed Cain, and Lamech also killed another guy. But the book of Jasher said that Lamech killed Cain and then accidentally killed Tubal Cain. The book of Genesis didn't necessarily say that Lamech, who's who's not Noah's father, but one of son uh Cain's sons, the book of Genesis didn't necessarily say that Lamech killed Tubal Cain. He just said that Lamech killed Cain and somebody else. The book of Jasher said that Lamech killed Cain because Tubal Cain thought he was an animal and told him to shoot him because they thought that they was going hunting. And then Lamech realized he killed Cain and then got real mad and killed Tubal Cain about it. So the book of Jubilees just say that his house fell on him and he was killed by the stones of his house. So I'm sitting here, I'm thinking, okay, all three accounts on this one event, two of them sound the same. One of them don't. The two that sound the same was Lamech killed Cain in Jasher and in Genesis. And I'm sitting here like last night, I'm just sitting here, man. And this actually happened to me before. I just never paid much attention to it. But just last night, because I was actually gonna read this for y'all last night, but usually before I read anything, I like to restudy it. And I'm sitting here, I'm like, Lord, make this make sense. Like, this don't make sense. Now I'm already not a big fan of Jasher. I would never teach anything out of the book of Jasher to anybody because I personally don't believe that it's biblical. Make this make sense, because now I'm sitting here, I just stumbled upon something. Now I'm starting to believe that Jubilees is just really not there either. And God is like, pay attention to the details, Corey. The details. You're missing the details of the story. Genesis is where you start, okay? Everything has to line up with the scripture. If it don't, get rid of it. Now, Lamech killed Cain. Okay? Cain died because of what he did. The Bible said, if you live by the sword, you shall die by the sword. You gotta go back to the Old Testament law. The Old Testament law says, eye for an eye, tooth for tooth, what for what, and this for that. And it basically was saying, the Old Testament law was, if you listen to the details of the book of Jubilees, who was the book of Jubilees given to? Moses. Moses was also given the law. The book of Jubilees said, for this reason it was ordained on the heavenly tablets with the instrument with which a man kills his neighbor, with the same shall he be killed, after the manner that he wounded him, in like manner shall they deal with him. Think about this, Corey. Now, what is the book of Jubilees saying? Because of what Cain did, it was done back to him. That's not all it's saying. It's saying it was done back to him in the way that he done it to someone else. Now, Genesis says Lamech killed Cain. That was pretty much all it said. That was all Genesis said, was Lamech killed Cain. Go back and read that again. At the close of this Jubilee, Cain was killed after him in the same year, for his house fell upon him, and he died in the midst of his house and was killed by its stone. For with a stone he had killed Abel, and by a stone he was killed in righteous judgment. Corey, it don't tell you why those stones fell on Cain. It just tell you that it did. For all you know, Lamech and Cain could have probably been into some argument. And Lamech could have got mad, threw something over, knocked down Cain's house, and Cain could have died. For all you know, that's what really happened. For all you know, that's what happened. Now, the book of Jasher said that he was killed with an arrow. You know that ain't true. You know that ain't true because why? Because he wasn't killed the same way he killed his brother. Now, I mean, for all you know, they could have made arrows out of stones. You know what I mean? But think about it like this. His house fell upon him. Lamech was a son of Cain's house. And one of the stones that built Cain's house fell upon him. You see where you getting this? Cain killed his brother. He killed a family member. A family member killed him. That's what happened.